personal. It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, this is our official post-fight review for Alexis Rocha versus George Ashie. It's your boy BT. We got Pops. The result of the fight is a devastating, oh my God, it's a devastating hiccup right there.
Yeah.
A devastating knockout by Alexis Rocha. I believe it was the seventh round? Seventh round. It was seventh round because it was around after you said you wanted him to get out. So it was the seventh round. And listen, man, good for him, man. Good for him. Alexis Rocha gets another win. I was just yelling a lot about this on the live, and I'll have a video on that soon. I'll clip it so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But like, Alexis Rocha has been one of the most active welterweights. He might be the most active welterweight in the top 15. 5 fights in 14 months. A lot of people can say what they want about his skills or their perceived lack thereof. But you know what? You can't down a guy like this because this is a guy that's taken any and every opportunity that's came his way. And are there fighters more talented than Rocha in the welterweight division? Hell yes, there is. But Vegas, because maybe they're more talented, maybe they're just a little bit more entitled. So that's why he's now in position to get a big fight like Terence Crawford, and they're not, So that's what it is. But I'll swing it over to Pops. What did you make of George Ashie versus Rocha?
Honestly, throughout the whole fight, the whole thing, I was really angry internally about the two divas. I'll leave it like that. And it really bothered me through the whole fight, and it shouldn't have, because the fight was really about Alex Rocha and the African fighter, Ash. And shout out to the African nation, bringing him out there in 6 days' notice to take the fight. He did the best he could. He just fought a better fighter.
He had limited in skills, but
he did what he could. And shout out to Alexis Rocha, because like my son was saying, very active fighter that come out there, doesn't whine, just whatever fight they put in front of him, you can't blame him. He just did what he's supposed to do. Got an opportunity now to by beating Ash to fight Terence Crawford. So shout out to him. And at the same time, he came in and did what he's supposed to do. He was supposed to be the favorite. He was supposed to be the A-level fighter that he considered who fought over here. And in America, it's a land opportunity, so why not? I'm happy for him to get a big money fight, even though throughout the live I was really angry about a lot of things about judging him. Like, I didn't want to give him all the hype, but about him beating the C-level fighder, with all the respect to the African guy. But at the same token, BT brought out throughout the live, he came out and said that the reason you have to respect him is because everybody's waiting in line for that. They're in line for the lunch line, waiting for that big lunch, for that big title, and they don't want to take a risk on anything. This guy's done it 5 times last year.
Last 14 months.
Last 14 months, and he was willing to even take this risk against this guy that we don't know about, because something could happen to him. So we have to give respect to him and understand that he's fighting while other motherfuckers are just sitting back, texting and doing all kinds of social media.
Going on Twitter.
So respect to him, respect to the Mexican fans out there, respect to Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy. Good luck to him against Crawford.
Yeah, so he's fighting Terence Crawford now. Obviously, it's a very tall task. Obviously, you're going to have to figure Crawford because Crawford's just, the superior fighter in terms of ability and talent, and you look at like the 8 or 9 straight knockouts. He's up against it. There's no doubt about it. Alexis Rocha has a tall task to climb if that fight is next. But to kind of be more optimistic, activity does matter in boxing, and that's one thing about that he has going for him. He's active. He's sharp. He lives in the gym. He's been fighting actively in fights. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. As far as like the whole Crawford thing and why, because for those of you who maybe haven't been following boxing as close as you think, Rocha is the number 3 contender in the WBO, right? Now you may say, well, how is he getting a car fight? He's number 3. Well, because number 1 and number 2 guys are tied up with things. Number 1 is Virgil Ortiz, and he's going the WBA route, fighting Stanionis, right? So you can rule him out the picture. He's kind of pulling a Jaime Munguia. Even though I like him and I think he's a better fighter than Jaime Munguia, he's doing the same as far as his business maneuvering. Like when Munguia was number 1, he could have fought Andrade. He didn't really want to like push for it, so he went other routes to try to make things happen in his career, and like that's what Virgil's doing. Virgil's fighting a really good fighter in Stanionis, but if his manager and him really believe in him like they said they do, then they would try to go ahead and make the Crawford fight. That's just my opinion. Objectively, no feelings, no talking shit. That's really how it is. Number 2, it was Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman is not gonna be eligible to fight because he's fighting Errol Spence at I think 154. So then you go to number 3, and there you have Alexis Rocha, who, if the WBO rules that he's mandatory challenger, then we'll have a fight. And then to make matters even crazier, right? This picture service today on the Golden Boy Instagram of Crawford and Bernard Hopkins, Oscar De La Hoya, and the Golden Boy offices meeting. So something is brewing. A lot of people are like, oh my God, he's gonna fight Virgil Ortiz. I'm like, no, he's not. I told everybody before this fight even happened today. I said, he's fighting Alexis Rocha, and everybody's yelling at me.
Yeah,
hey,
and the reality is BT made a video a few weeks ago.
I made a video like 3 weeks ago about this shit. Like 2-3 weeks ago about this shit.
So good luck to him. We don't talk about Schofield.
Oh, that's right. Floyd Schofield. He had a fight against the dude Mercado. Roberto Mercado. Southpaw, veteran fighter, 17-4. I believe he fought Chris Colbert early in his career. And, it was a good little test for Floyd Schofield. Schofield's getting a lot of hype, being that he's a 20-year-old prospect from Golden Boy. Explosive fighter that puts his punches together. I like watching him. We had Greg Hackett in the comment section, the trainer from Philadelphia. He said he's ass cheeks. He's trash, And I think he's doing a little bit of exaggeration, but I can see what he's saying. Like, he's saying that, like, Floyd Schofield is talking about all this stuff about fighting Mark Castro and Keyshawn Davis and Devin Haney and all these top grade fighters, and you in there, Ernesto Mercado, not necessarily like lighting the world on fire. So I think it was good for him to get the rounds. I think he did some good things in the ring. I think he can draw from this experience later on. It'll make him a better fighter. You're not gonna knock everybody out, even like. Just to give the Philadelphia fighter as an example that I know Greg Hackett loves, Jaron Ennis does knock out everybody. The only guy that knocks out everybody is Artur Beterbiev, and quite frankly, most of you guys are not fucking as good as Artur Beterbiev. And you never will be, just because it's just how life is. You got some people who are here, and it is what it is.
Not to evaluating him, not from my mindset, from his mindset, because he's more the student boxing. I determined that what he was telling me is that. Nothing against Schofield, he just needs a little bit more
seasoning.
Seasoning.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like the great fighters history. Like you go and you watch one of my favorite fighters all over this wall is Riddick Bowe, right? Before Riddick Bowe fought Holyfield, he had some fights where he looked. If you go back and you watch Riddick Bowe, like 4, 5, 6 fights for Holyfield, this guy is gonna win. This guy, this guy's winning the title. Okay, have a day off, And then but then over time and experience, he develops, and then you get him to become champion. And it's the same thing with any fighter. They may not look the part. They may not look like they're going to be anything, but you give them 3, 4, 5, 6 fights to see different styles, to go 8 rounds, 10 rounds, 12 rounds, get different kind of sparring in the gym. And then you see what you have. But you can't make any knee-jerk reactions right now. So I'm gonna wait and see if Floyd Schofield... This
breaks on him a little bit.
This is fight number 13. In an ideal world, would it be cool to see all these young guys fight each other? Of course. Yes. Why not? Get to the smoke, but there's a process to these kind of things, and he's in this process right now. So he got the win. Shout out to him. Also, and I'll end the video with this note. Bektemir Melikuziev, he did get a devastating body shot knockout against a former Canelo sparring partner and Edgar Berlanga, first round knockout victim Ulysses Sierra. And it's his 4th win in a row since he got knocked out by Gabe Rosado in 2021. So. There's some options out there for Melikuziev. He can either go fight maybe Edgar Berlanga if he signs with Matt Schumann DAZN. Maybe he can fight Diego Pacheco, who's the guy they want him to fight. Or maybe the Rosado rematch. I know that's the fight he wants.
Yeah, he got the body shots. The body shots he throws.
Bone crushing.
They'll break you down real quick. And in my case, I learned today that he was a Mexican.
I don't know why he thought he was Mexican. His last name is Melikuziev. How many Mexicans do you know with a name that have that many syllables? Come on, man.
Yeah, I just thought my son.
Because he had a sombrero. I'm like, Dad, he's not Mexican. He's doing that because they're in California and he's trying to win some fans over. That's all about.
He might not be Mexican, but I'll tell you what he got when he goes to that body. Got that shot.
Absolutely. So well, that's our review. That's my little review on the card. Shout out to Rocha for doing this thing, and best of luck to him. I like Lex. I have a friend that's really good friends with him. Shout out to my man Ralph Valencia out there in Southern California, who I know is good friends with Alexis Rocha. But yeah, man, we'll see what happens. But one thing I'm not gonna do is down that man because he's been more active than your favorite welterweight. You wish your favorite welterweight fought 5 times in 14 months. I'll tell you this: I wish Pete Dobson fought 5 times in 14 months. I wish Harold Calderon fought 5 times in 14 months. I wish Jerron Ennis fought 5 times in 14 months. I wish Crawford fought 5 times in 14 months, but they aren't. But you know who is? Rocha. So we tip our cap to him. So on that note, guys, you let us know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.